assessed against my property, the property that I now own, for litter and for noxious weed, I guess. And I moved into the property in March this year after I bought it, and went out to pay my taxes this year, found that there was $444 of fines that were not found at the time of purchase. After doing some investigation, went to the title company, which I had no insurance through, and they weren't, they said at the time when I purchased the property, there was nothing documented with the city. So I bought the property in January, and fines were assessed in October. And so there wasn't any evidence of it, so the title company said they wouldn't cover the $444. And then I talked to my neighbors about it too. They said the whole year that the house had been vacant, they had been taking care of the property, and they actually texted me some pictures this evening from October of last year when they were mowing the property and stuff like that, which I can provide if you guys need. But I wanted to revisit that item and see if there's a way you guys could consider taking a $444 charge off my taxes for this year.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Mayor, if I may, I think just to clarify your statement that there was no record of it, I believe, as the assessor indicated yesterday, there was a record, it was in transition, and I believe the title company just didn't locate it. So while I understand your position, I would disagree that I think they do have some exposure here. They should work with you on it, because I think that had they done their due diligence, they would have found that the violations existed. Sometimes, depending on when they're issued and when you close, there is a transition period that they whether they're in the court or whether they're in process, but they have to dig a little deeper if they know or if they suspect there's a potential issue.
Yeah, this was a Freddie Mac home, and so we weren't allowed to pick our own title agency. We had to use the government, the Federal Home Mortgage Company's title agency, so we didn't have a choice in the matter. They provided their response, I guess, and they canceled their and close the case after 30 days, which is already passed. So I'd have to call them and reopen. And they probably need some more evidence from the city or whatever to help prove that those fines were available or able to find at the time of purchase. And it was about 3 months after the fines were assessed.
Mr. Chairman, Councilman Missouri, I did read through the response. The response that you got from them talks about that the seller was to pay for all assessments, and that part of the documentation that you signed says it states in part that you acknowledge that there may have been outstanding assessments, bills, invoices, citations involving the subject property, and you agreed to accept full responsibility for any such fines, etc., etc. Is that not the case, or?
Yeah, that's accurate. I signed that as part of all the title papers you signed when you purchased the house. So that's something I agreed to. I'm asking also kind of out of good faith, since the fines were set before I owned the home, and I had no way to know that they were there. If you guys were going to forgive the fines.
Did you bought from the government, or who was this?
It was a Federal Home Mortgage home, Freddie Mac home.
Okay.
It was our personal purchase, and I bought it and spent about 3 months renovating it so I could live in it. And that's where my wife and I live now. It was just $4,400, $444. Big chunk of change.
Okay.
Well, just so you know, Mr. Dietrich, so when we discussed this last night, it was brought up that you did, sign off on the agreement that would make you responsible for the fees, and this is a big responsibility of the company that was used. And I know that you didn't have any authority about picking that company, but this lies directly with them as well. And unfortunately, you did, of course, sign off on the paperwork that does make you liable for the fee. We did discuss this last night, so my own recourse would say to reach out back to the title agency, because the council did vote to deny the request to relieve the $444.
Yeah. Was there a chance they were having you guys set for discussion? Was that for just among you guys, or is that for everyone here?
That was for everybody, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I missed my opportunity there.
Yeah, that was, absolutely.
That was my first time being here.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. I appreciate you coming.
Do you guys have any photos of the property I can use for the, I don't know if you guys will know, but I guess I've got some from October and September showing that it's clean and taken care of. So I'm not
Chairman.
Mr. Mayor.
If you, Keith,
There we
Keith,
go.
raise your hand. Keith, we can look in our CRM to see what photos exist. We may have some supporting documents of certainly of the weeds. I suspect we would have something. I don't know about the litter, because I don't know where it was or what happened, but we can look at the history and at least see what we have to give you some documents to support and go back to the title company with. Everything would be date stamped as well.
Okay, thanks. I'll try to record something again. I'm sorry we didn't get it wiped out today.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. All right, any other interested parties who'd like to address council tonight?
If not, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion.
Yes.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Valerie Glenn, and I'm a part of Downriver City Watch. My concern is the ongoing issue of rats at the Heritage Glen Apartments. It has been brought to our attention that this is a building that is predominantly African American, or there are a large group of African Americans, and the neglect could be viewed as discriminatory. This is to be noted in the official record of the City Council session tonight, and we would appreciate it if you would look into this issue. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Mayor. If I may, ma'am, from the time that the new owners have purchased this property, we've had many ongoing issues with them. I believe they exist out of Connecticut, I believe is where they're headquartered out of. We've had them come into the city of Taylor on multiple occasions. There are many issues with this development. We have a long history of troubling developments. We've had issues getting in the property. We've had issues getting in to do rental inspections. We've had to go as far as getting search warrants executed just to get into the property to do rental inspections because they're not willing to let us in. So I can assure you that as it relates to the city of Taylor, we have gone to every level that we can to continue to hold this development to the highest standards. But we are having serious issues with the property owners. There is no doubt about that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any additional interested parties who'd like to come up tonight? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Julie Bernard, and I purchased a home from the city of Taylor last summer 2017. I also did live in the Heritage Glen Apartments for about a year and a half, and I brought multiple issues to this city regarding the Heritage Glen Apartments. I did actually take my complaint to the Detroit Fair Housing, as well as the state of Michigan, and both levels were investigated. So if you guys need more information, you're more than welcome to use my case to fight, because 70% of those people are good people, and they pay their rent, and they are honest, and they take care of the apartment. But those people, that manager is nasty. I have fought with the Connecticut Property Management Company. I have fought with the apartment complex. We left. We were lucky. I could walk away. I bought a house, a fixer-upper. I also had the issue of past fines when I closed on my property that the title company did not find. So I'm seeing kind of a pattern here. You guys have a great city. I've been happy here. I love when we bought our house. But we gotta look out for the people too. We gotta look out for our neighbors and our friends. And that's it.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Mayor.
again, if whatever you have that may give us some indication of what was going on or what is going on there, we would love to see it, to have it. I suspect our progression will continue to lead us down a legal road because they're simply unwilling to partner with the city of Taylor in terms of raising the level.
Legal with the state of federal level. How come they have not gotten involved?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Mayor.
I can't answer how it relates to the state and level, or state and federal level, or the fair housing standards. But I can tell you, as it relates to the city of Taylor, the building code that we're charged with enforcing, we're going in there every chance we can to get in there to inspect those units. We're continuously in there. And again, we've had to go as far as getting search warrants executed just to get into the properties, which, by the way, is very intrusive. When we're knocking on somebody's door and saying, hey, we have a search warrant, calm down, don't worry, we're just here to inspect your property. I mean, obviously they become far more relief, but it's a battle. It is a lot of work, and quite honestly, we're ramped up and ready to go in and fight that fight. We have been for several months now.
I know people would love you guys to come in and search. I had a hole in my ceiling for 95 days, and I was living between two states, and my fiance was living here, and he works for law enforcement. And I fought and fought and fought. I had documentation to them. They ignored it. They played games. And yet I fought. What about the other people who don't have the energy or the strength to fight? And yet they're entitled to a clean, safe apartment. So I just don't know what the state and the Fed can do with you guys to help you guys fight this. Because this is bad. This is so sad. People are not, it's not fair to them.
Mr. Chairman, if you still know people in there, I would tell you to have them continue to file those complaints at the state and federal level, and we'll continue to do our part at the city level.
Should they be coming here and letting you guys know? I mean, what else can they do to help you guys?
Mr. Chairman, we're pretty in touch with what's going on in terms of our responsibility. It never hurts to have them come in if there's something significant, but we've been in those buildings where we found the holes in the roof and other issues that needed to be brought into compliance. Once we get the search warrant, they have no choice. They have to let us in. They have to bring the unit into compliance. But it doesn't have to be that difficult. That's the struggle for us. If you clearly have somebody that doesn't want to invest in the property, and that's troubling to us.
Well, people are forced to leave. They can't do it for, I got what I did when I left. I go for a lease, I fought for fine, I won. But then these people go to court, and they win, they end up, setting up the property, but these people end up getting up and leaving because they're so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
They're so frustrated. And I forget the term, but it's not, it's where you have no reason but to leave your unit. You have to leave.
Councilman Johnson?
To the administration, so if we have Mrs. Smith over at apartment 104, and she calls the city and says, "City, I would allow you into my apartment." Can you do that?
Yeah.
So the issue is Mrs. Smith would have to fill out the application and pay the cost of doing that, and that's usually where Mrs. Smith isn't interested in that. It's not the letting us in part. It's the you have to register the rental, which has I believe a $250 application fee. That's the easy part though. Then you have to bring it into compliance, which means you have to spend money, and that's where they generally start to struggle with what's, with when you don't know how many units are in that complex, but when you start to cost this capital investment out, that's why they fight it as long as they do. Now, they are starting to comply, and they're starting to do the things, but it's been a very, very slow process.
And this is the second time it's been used.
I don't think that, Mr. Chairman, I don't think that any city has to execute search warrants to get in to do rental inspections. And so this is a very rare situation, but what I can tell you is we're well on the way, and we'll continue to do that.
So if a tenant over there, you guys knock on the door, and they allow you in, you can go in, right? You do not, the apartment cannot say no.
We can go in, but there's a process. They have to fill out an application. They have to register the unit as a rental property.
I'm talking about here